It's your boy Jose from Big Meat Sports. How are you guys doing on this lovely, lovely Saturday? Yes, we're back in the garage trying to get the man cave back together. Still have a lot of stuff in the background if you see that. Um, Christmas is gone and over with. Pipes are done. So I have my garage back. So hopefully I can get this set up back and going. But let's stop talking about that. Let's talk about the Dallas Cowboys heading into this playoff run. I am excited to. I can't wait for this playoff run. It's one of those nervous little. I'm a little nervous, little wreck, because for the 20 plus years being a Cowboys fan, the playoffs haven't been nice to us in since our late 90s. We'll say. Sorry about that. But I will say that I'm excited for this team. I'm excited to see what's going to happen. But I do have a lot of concerns heading into this playoffs. First, the Dallas Cowboys have to take care of business tomorrow and beat the Washington Commies so they can get that number 2 seed. Hopefully, they can do that. I know that last year we took an L. Took an L the last game uh, versus the Washington Commanders, and I would say that it kind of trickled into the playoffs how poor we were playing, and I just want the Cowboys to go out there, execute, and do what they're supposed to do. Okay, win this game. The Commanders have a lot of people sitting out this game, and I want to say that it will be a very big disappointment if the Cowboys don't win this game. But I have a good feeling. I feel like this year's has been different from many years in the past. I would say if you don't believe me, look at this last game versus the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions, 9 out of 10 times we lose that game in years past. For some reason, we are winning these games. Dak Prescott is playing out of his mind. Um, the defense is kind of scaring me a little bit on these last second drives. Not not protecting the not protecting the boundaries and just giving up big chunks of plays. So what my I have a question here, and you guys can comment below. But my question is for everybody. What are your concerns heading into the playoffs? Playoff run for the Cowboys. So my biggest concern is the running game. This running game is looking atrocious every single week. Now I don't know what's the deal. Tony Pollard has been non-existent. You can see that this past game he what 2 yards per carry. That's not going to get it done. He had a couple big runs here and there, but it's nothing consistent. I don't know what to blame it on. Do I blame it on the offensive line? Do I blame it on Tony Pollard? I don't know. I don't know. I think it's a little bit of both, actually. If you want to be quite honest, this team is not a run first team anymore. We're a pass first team. And we're putting a lot of pressure on Dak Prescott to get it done. And to me, that's I- he's been doing it consistently this year, but I want more of the running game to help out, if you get what I'm saying. Um, Also, we need a backup running back. Rico Dowdle's coming back, so thank God on that. But it's just, we thought we are gonna get, a lot of people were putting floating the idea out there if we should get Dalvin Cook, and my thing was why it would have been a nice addition, but to what cost? Because he's not going to get the touches that he wants to get. He's going to Baltimore, as we saw a couple of days ago that he's going to Baltimore. But I just think that's more of an offensive line scheme that not blocking well for him. So that's just my take on the Dalvin Cook situations. But the running game needs to get better. Now, one of my other concerns is heading into the playoffs is this offensive line health. Tyler Smith went down with a torn fasciitis. They said it's great that he tore it, not a complete tear, but a full tear, not a partial tear, a complete tear. So it's just pain tolerance, but that's you have that at your left guard, and then you have Tyron Smith at left tackle, which you never know what's going to happen with him when his back's going to flare up. So I think the signing of Lyle Collins and getting him in there was a crucial sighting. I think just to have that depth on the offensive line is crucial. Now, let's see what's going to happen because I want this offensive line to stay healthy, protect Dak because once he's protected, I mean, this he can sling it. And you saw the Detroit game. You go to CD Lamb, you're going to score most of the time. I believe that we could have scored more points. CD Lamb did fumble at the half-yard line, but that Detroit game should have been done and over with. There's so many bad calls on in that game, but the bad call that people don't want to really talk about was the uh, Hendershot tripping call, which was a phantom trip. Like he didn't trip. It was Hutchinson that tripped. So if they would have called that on Hutchinson, that's a first down, automatic first down. These need to end the game, and we would have won the game. No controversial decision or controversial play at the end. But the refs got it wrong. They put us in that predicament. I wouldn't say that the play calling was that bad because Mike McCarthy was trying to go for the jugular. But people could say you could run out the clock. I get it, but we know knowing Mike McCarthy knowing that we don't have a running game, I think that's the reason why he decided to pass. But that's my my second concern heading into the playoffs is this Cowboys offensive line. Have to stay healthy. Have to stay healthy. If they could stay healthy, this offense is gonna click on all cylinders. Now I'm seeing a lot of tweets out there. We should be the fifth seed because it's a kind of like easier road because you'll beat the Bucks and then you'll face San Francisco 49ers, which is not a tough task, but eh, you're going to face them no matter what. But I like the two seed. And my thing with the two seed is being that one, we're gonna have home field advantage for the first, at least for the first two games. So, and we all know that the Cowboys play very, very well at home. So having home field advantage on the first two games is going to be very, very crucial in this playoff run. Um, for some reason, the Cowboys play very, very different on the road, and I would like to see them build some confidence in these first two home games in the playoffs, possibly home games if they take care of business tomorrow. I want to see them build some confidence in the next two games. And then when we face San Francisco 49ers in the NFC Championship game, then it's all, who's the better team at the day. Now, San Francisco, again, they can be beat. If you put a lot of pressure on Brock Purdy, you see how he is. He's a gunslinger. He likes to throw the ball up. As the Baltimore Ravens, picked him off. I believe it was four times. So you can create pressure on Brock Purdy. But my thing is, they have weapons all over the place. I think we learned a valuable lesson on a blowout game. I believe it was week 4 when we played the Niners, where you gotta you gotta be on your A game. And I believe there's a lot of missed assignments. Leaving George Kittle wide open on a lot of those plays. George Kittle went off on us. I don't think he's gone off any other game except for that game. So that right there, it's a toss up. To me, Cowboys played well versus the 49ers. I think that was just one of those bad games because we still had people come back from injury, especially our safeties that weren't playing well and haven't been playing well basically the whole year. I would say Jaron Curse hasn't been playing well the whole year, but I would say this last game, Donovan Wilson did step up and finally got that good breakout game that we're looking for. Not just that interception that he had, but we're talking about the run stopping that he was a part of. He was blowing up some of those runs, and Montgomery and the other back over there, I forgot his name right now. for Detroit, but they couldn't get any separations. Yes, they had big runs here and there, but I will say that for the most part, Donovan Wilson played extremely well that game. You just heard his name getting called over and over again, and I believe that was something that we're missing prior, games prior to that last game versus the Lions. And maybe it's a good timing, but we need that from the defense. Now the defense has been struggling as of late game situations, late half situations. First we're going to talk about the Miami game. Going into halftime, they let Miami drive all the way down the field and score a touchdown. They're playing a base defense instead of being aggressive in how they were. They're just staying back and letting Tua pick them apart, and eventually scored. And then we go down to the late game field goal, and it was the exact same thing. Then we come to Detroit, and once we kicked that field goal, once the Cowboys, Brandon Aubrey kicked that field goal, I was like, all right, this is where the defense is going to get that sack fumble or that negative play, and it's going to set them back. And we didn't see that. It was off coverage. Golf was just picking us apart all the way down. Got that big play. It was like 20 yards, 30 yards. It kept on going down, down. And then eventually they scored the touchdown. We can't have that coming onto these playoffs. I think that the defense needs to do a better job on being aggressive throughout the game. I get it. They don't want to, give up the big play, but keep on doing what got you the lead. That's my philosophy. Um, but I do think that this is going to be one of those playoff runs, and it's always going to be the first game with all the jitters and stuff like that. We don't know who we're playing in the first game. We could be playing the Green Bay Packers. We could be playing the Rams. We don't know who we're going to be playing, but I don't care if we're at home. I have a good enough feeling that we're going to come out with the victory. This offense, when you protect Dak and you do the little things, this offense is basically unstoppable. Okay. There's a lot of times these past few games, Buffalo, Miami, Detroit, we're we're basically killing our own drives with fumbles, with missed blocking assignments. It's just the little things. Do the little things, and I'll get you the win. So let's enjoy this playoff run because look, I feel something different, and I don't want to jinx it and stuff like that. But hopefully, that's just not the cowboy talk I'm just going about. Because if you really look at it, it's a three-team race: San Francisco, Cowboys, and Philadelphia Eagles. Philadelphia Eagles have gone the wrong way as of late, and they're having internal troubles. They're having players only meeting going on with their team. So they have their own issues. Cowboys just need to stop shooting themselves in the foot. I think that if you want to look talent, yes, the San Francisco 49ers are better talent wise throughout the board. But game scheming, you never know. Any given Sunday, San Francisco 49ers have been, you didn't think they were going to get blown out by the Ravens. So you never know what could happen. Every game is different. So I want to inspect a blowout if we do meet them in the championship game, but you never know. Um, there's a lot of important games other than the Cowboys game. There's a lot of important games coming up, and some of these games should be coming up soon. If the Pittsburgh Steelers win, that's putting a lot of pressure on Josh Allen tomorrow. And I would say, and quote me now. Wait, let me take away this caption here. Uh, quote me now. If if the Steelers win tonight, I can guarantee you that Josh Allen probably throw two, maybe three picks. Okay. Because I feel like Josh Allen will just put too much pressure on this must win game for them because I believe they have to have the Steelers and Jaguars. Jaguars are trying to get into the playoffs, I believe, if I read that right. If those two teams win, that's a lot of pressure on Sunday night. And the Dolphins, I do they have that, they hate the Bills. Let's just put it. They hate the Bills. So for them to go out there on a Sunday night football and beat the Bills and knock them out of playoffs, man, that'll be something. That'll be something great to see. Because for some reason, I don't know. It's just I don't like Josh Allen. He's a good person, but as a player, he just gets overhyped. He has so much interceptions, but they don't even talk about the interceptions. They want to talk about the interceptions with Dak Prescott when he's throwing interceptions, but with Josh Allen when he throws interceptions, it's just cool. Don't worry about it. We ain't even talking about, we're really not talking about Jalen Hurts throwing interception or being a turnover machine this year. But when Dak was doing it last year, woo, that was number one headlines. So there's a lot of important games coming up this week, and especially for an NFC. Like, is Green Bay going to get in? Who's going to get that last spot? Vikings have like an outside chance, so you never know who we're going to play. So it's kind of it's kind of that fun time of the year, isn't it? And especially if your team has made the playoffs. So it's that fun time in the year of playoffs are here, and this is what you've been waiting for. You've been anticipating the whole year, and now this time to prove it. And hopefully, the Cowboys can do it. At least get me to the NFC Championship game. That'll be the step in the right direction. But I cannot be, one and done or two and done. Like I need to get to the NFC Championship game, and hopefully, they can. Hopefully, they can take care of business and do what they're supposed to do. But that's all I got today, guys. I am excited. The game's about to start. I believe the Steelers and Ravens game is coming on. Ravens are sitting a lot of their starters for their playoff run. Pittsburgh Steelers are desperate and need for this game. So, and it's going to be an interesting game. Late night, I believe, it's the Houston Texans versus the Colts. And I would love to see the Houston Texans get in the playoffs in the AFC. So hopefully everything lands the Houston Texans way, because Houston, that's a good team over there. That's a surprise team, but look, that coach over there, and the rookie quarterback, they're doing a lot of good things over there, and that's a team to watch out in the future, because they just they they just totally flipped that organization around in 1 year, and hopefully they can make the playoffs and keep on having success. But that's all for today. Thank you guys for tuning in, and please don't forget to like and subscribe to the page. If you know people that like us or like talking about sports, please recommend us. We're on all platforms, so please, if you don't comment now, you can comment later on my page, the Big Meat Sports podcast page on Instagram or Twitter. Let us know what is your major concern for the Cowboys leading up to this playoffs. Because look, I'm excited, but there are the concerns of, again, the running back situation, our running game, the offensive line. That's very concerning with the health and the injuries and stuff like that. Who's going to be healthy throughout the playoffs, and the defense. The defense is worrying me a little bit on late game situations. So hopefully they can fix that. But again, thank you for tuning in to Big Me Sports Podcast.